AITA, for kicking my half-brother out when he was handing guests invitations at my wife's funeral. My M39 wife of 6 years passed away from BC 3 weeks ago. It's devastating and I'm barely holding it together. I used to sleep either at the hospital or my dad and stepmom's house. He supported me at the time and I also have a 29-year half-brother. My brother's wedding is in 3 months. When I came from the hospital and sat and cried, he brought up the wedding planning with his mom and talked about the menu and ignored me. He made backhanded comments. I can't imagine this happening to my fiancé, saying I'm not doing enough, constantly comparing me to him and how he would have done more. I stopped going. I'd rather sit alone in an empty house than listen to him. At the funeral, he came with my stepmom. His phone didn't stop ringing. Everyone noticed. Then later when the guests were sitting inside the house, he kept asking about certain relatives to see if they came. I was with my dad at the time. Once the guests started leaving, I saw my brother standing by the door, handing guests envelopes then shaking their hands, then they walk out. Didn't know what he was handing them. I walked up to him and asked him. He showed me invitations for his wedding that he was handing out to guests. I was stunned. I asked if he was serious. He said there's some relatives' family that live out of town who came to the funeral and he wanted to do an actual hand delivery from his hand to theirs. Saying mailing invitations didn't feel proper. I lashed out at him and he said no one noticed, so it was no big deal. He just wanted to make sure everyone got an invitation since the whole family was there. I was so mad. No wonder the guests gave me weird looks before walking out. What's worse, that my wife's family saw this and were upset. I felt awful and embarrassed. I was infuriated. I yelled at him and told him to leave immediately. My dad and stepmom and others got involved, but he left after I insisted. My dad berated him but said that this is how he is, being insensitive. My stepmom said that I shouldn't have kicked him out in front of everyone, her side of the family, and disrespecting the family. She said no one was noticing and that he thought this was an opportunity for him to make sure they know about his wedding. I argued with her and other family members for hours about it. My dad's side of the family said they were upset because of what he did and my stepmom's side of family were upset I kicked him out. My stepmom is now contacting me to get me to go talk to my brother and get right with him. To add, my stepmom never sees anything wrong with my brother's behavior. No matter what he does, she always tries to defend him either directly or indirectly. Dad isn't doing a damn thing about it. Not the asshole. Who in their right mind thinks handing out wedding invitations during a funeral is okay? That's the most insensitive thing I've heard of. And what's wrong with mailing the invitations? I've known many people to send them through the mail and have received them in the mail myself. It's so commonplace. I'm so sorry your own brother did this to you. Not the asshole. Your brother is selfish and unsympathetic, and your wife deserved to have an undisrupted service. I am so sorry for your loss, and wish you the best. ETA, if anyone embarrassed your family, it was your brother, not you. Not the asshole. Having his phone on alone settles it for me, the rest is even worse. Since when as a grieving spouse? No one. I bet everyone was keeping quiet. They understood you were the one to be protected and or were confused if the serious breach had your okay. I guess you need to hear this. You stepmom and brother are toxic. I think it's telling you refer to him with the half qualifier instead of brother with the same parent info. You don't have to call him family at all. Toxic families always go after the one with good boundaries, never the offender. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I'd get a hold of his better half and ask her if she is okay with him handing out their invitations at your wife's funeral. Not the asshole. Holy shit, I can't believe you even held it together that well. Since when is mailing invitations bad? I'd much rather get an invite in the mail than at a funeral. It sounds like your half-brother is a selfish and immature fool. I'm so sorry for your loss, op. And I'm so sorry you have to deal with this asshole on top of it. Holy shit, not the asshole. Your brother was being an ass. Since when is mailing wedding invites not proper, and your stepmom is as well. The sheer nerve of accusing you of disrespecting family, given bro's shameful behavior at your wife's funeral and at the house afterwards. If she wants you and your brother to get right, she get on his ass to apologize. I'm so sorry. For your loss and for having to deal with this stupidity. Not the asshole. Majorly not the asshole. Sorry for your loss and sorry to hear your brother was super insensitive and your stepmom talking about herself being embarrassed. This day was not about them in any way, shape or form. Info. Why do you think you are in the wrong here? Is being a shitty person at a funeral a norm in your stepmother's family? NTA. Are you kidding me? He is an adult, he should know better. How dare he? Oh God, he would have been in the hospital if it were up to him. Don't even go to the wedding. He disrespected your wife, your marriage, the love you had for each other. That was disgusting. I would never forgive him. Mail the damn letters and then call the people over the phone. Oh, I am so mad for you. May your wife rest in peace and tell your brother karma is a bitch. Watch for the words you say because it will come back to him. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry for your loss, sir. I'm also sorry your brother is a graceless, tactless asshole who had his mother's support in making a day about your late wife about him. Not the asshole. He's lucky that kicking him out is all you did. I'd have given him a black eye. Not the asshole. Your brother totally disrespected you and your late wife, and you were 100% in the right. Do not reconnect with him absent your brother apologizing for his actions. Your family has no right to back him up, he entirely deserved it and more. Neither your brother nor the rest of your family has any respect for you, even as you are mourning. Not the asshole. I hate it when an asshole makes you feel like an asshole when you are forced to deal with their shit. Yours is a classic example. Sorry about your wife. I hope your other relatives showed more compassion. Not the asshole. Why on earth did that entitled ratfink think it was okay to hand out wedding invitations as people were leaving the services? My heart breaks for you so hard, my darling. Yeet your brother into the sun. Not the asshole. What an insensitive thing to do. He'll be lucky if half the family is speaking to him, let alone attending his wedding. Not the asshole. Go NC. Avoid this awful brother. Don't go to the wedding. I cannot think of anything more disrespectful, and I bet your attendees thought so too. You noticed. You noticed him handing out party invitations at your wife's funeral. Anyone who doesn't immediately side with you is a monster. I'm so sorry for your loss and the fucknut family members making it more difficult for you. Not the asshole. People only post here when they know without a doubt they are not the asshole. Need to justify their actions to their self. Not the asshole. I would seriously consider cutting ties. The level of disrespect is honestly astonishing. You deserve better. Rip to Op's wife. Not the asshole. He's a self-absorbed prick. Every family's got one. Handing out invitations at a funeral just to use the opportunity that all are there is decidedly not proper. In fact, it is rude and cruel. Your half-brother owe you a very big apology and much groveling. You didn't disrespect him. He disrespected your wife, he disrespected you, he disrespected the people who he gave invitations to, because this method has a connotation of, you just get the invitation in person because you're here at the moment. You're not the asshole. Not the asshole. Someone did this at my MIL's funeral, except it wasn't a family member but someone who attends my in-laws' church. None of the family noticed until I was opening cards collected at the service to write thank you notes, and there was a tacky photo wedding invitation in the basket. Later my SIL's friend mentioned they had been given one too. It was hurtful and inappropriate. Not the asshole. Disgusting behavior from your half-brother. Cut him off if you can. I'm so sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry for your loss and your callous brother. Not the asshole. Good gosh, no, he should have asked you if you would be okay with it at the very least, and then respected your wishes. I hope nothing happens, but if anything does at his and your stepmother's side of the family, start handing out invites to a fake party you're throwing when you're all together. See how they feel then. My condolences for your loss. Emo, don't go to his wedding. Go LCNC on him, your stepmother, and your father if he pushes you to excuse what they did. Not the asshole. No one noticed? What is he talking about? Everyone noticed. The people receiving the invitations noticed, and you said your late wife's family noticed and were visibly upset. And it doesn't matter if anyone noticed. It's appallingly inappropriate. There is nothing improper about mailing wedding invitations, and indeed I'm nigh certain that any etiquette guru would say that mailing them is vastly preferable to handing them out at a funeral. OMG, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Not the asshole, of course. Not the asshole, but at the wedding ceremony do a toast asking everybody to give your wife a moment of silence. Not the asshole, perhaps since families and friends were there he and his wife should have thrown a bridal shower at the funeral home. Edit to say, I am so sorry for your loss op. 100% not the asshole. Nuke your insanely disrespectful brother from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Seriously, I don't think I'd ever be able to move past this. Not the asshole. No wonder your brother felt this was okay with the way his mom enables him. He's trashy and has no compassion for others. I'd cut him off in your place. I'm so sorry for your loss. Info. What does his fiancé think about this? I'd be mortified. Not the asshole, and if I were you I wouldn't be going to the wedding or giving him any gifts either. What he did was so incredibly wrong. I'm so sorry for your loss op. Not the asshole, he was being deeply insensitive. Not the asshole, and I am so sorry for your loss. I cannot believe that your stepmother would even defend your brother. Cut contact. He is a self-absorbed asshole. NTA, insensitive. No, he's totally devoid of empathy. I'd send him the invite back with note of exactly where he can shove it. Stepmom was more bothered about her family being upset. Screw the fact your in-laws were there mourning the loss of their daughter. If anyone needs to make things right, it's your stepbrother. Not the asshole. Show up to the wedding, wearing all black. Hand out memorial cards prior to the ceremony and BC awareness ribbons. Have a speech. Thank everyone for their support in your loss. Raise awareness for BC. Have a donation box for BC awareness. I am a very passive person and usually lets things go, but this is one thing I can see myself start swinging if he was my half-brother. You're absolutely not the asshole. I would not go to his wedding and even stop talking to him, his mother and her side of the family. They were so insensitive to your grieving and loss. That's not how family should be. I am sorry for your loss. Not the asshole, he can contact you to apologize if he ever grows up. What was his fiancée doing while he was handing out the invitations? Don't even tell me she didn't come because they aren't married yet. Not the asshole, this is how he is. No, he is like this because you give him a pass. JFC. Why do people think if you leave someone alone their bad behavior will change? Also, please skip his wedding. That way you not being there will be the gossip of the wedding. Not the asshole, he acted inappropriately. Not the asshole, I'm surprised you didn't resort to physical violence while wrong is entirely justifiable in this situation. Not the asshole, and unless the first thing out of your half-brother's mouth if when you see him next is a heartfelt apology, I'd leave. NTA, cut him out and expose him. Not the asshole. Wow, talk about tacky. And incredibly selfish. Not the asshole. They want to be mad. Let them be mad at each other, not at you. You did the right thing kicking him out, and frankly, I wouldn't go to his wedding. I would publicly announce that because of his disgusting actions at your wife's funeral, you will not be going to the wedding he decided to advertise at the funeral. Oh honey, no. That's so terrible. He obviously knew you would be mad, hurt, which is why he hid it and did it like that. He sounds like a loser who overcompensates through shit-ass actions to try to fedora, nice guy, his way into being a man. You could never be the your brother needs his ass handed to him by his father and mother. I hope everyone wears black funeral attire to his wedding and sobs. Not the asshole. I imagine that when those folks opened the envelopes they were unhappily surprised and thought it in poor taste. Your brother was trying to save a couple dollars on postage. What a cheapskate. I am so sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. Take a crowbar to his teeth.